A friend of mine is a fractional HR director. She has multiple clients and each client has their own set of HR policies. And she said this to me, Isabella, I wish there is a way for AI to just know all of my client policies. So I could ask it the questions and get the right answer instantly without having to search through documents manually every single time. And there is. It took me less than 10 minutes to build this for her. Here is how it works. She can create one separate project for one client. Client A policies live in Client A project. Client B policies live in Client B projects. Each project only knows what it has been taught, so that there is zero risk of mixing up one client's role with another client. And when an employee from Client A calls with a questions, she opens Client A projects and asks AI the questions. And when Client B calls, she can switch to Client B project. Same AI, 5 different workspaces, which each one a specialist in that client's policies. So this is a Claude project loaded with 4 of her client's policy document. Watch what happens when I ask it a question that would normally take her 20 minutes to answer.
I am flying to New York to pitch a $150,000 contract. Can I take the prospect out to a $400 dinner, pay with my corporate card, and sign the deal there? Look at the answer. How comprehensive is this? Referencing 3 separate policies.
The right answer, the right policy, the right client instantly. This is level 3, the power user. And today I'm going to show you exactly how we can build this for yourself. I'm Isabella Susilowati, a CFO with decades of business experience. I'm the founder of Lighthouse Analytix, and I'm passionate about helping business professionals use AI practically instead of just talking about it. This video is level 3 of my 7 levels of AI mastery series. Let me give you a quick recap of where we have been. Level 1 is the question asker. This is where most people start their AI journey. You open ChatGPT or Claude and you type a questions like you're Googling something. You get your answers and then you move on. And then there is level 2. This is the prompt crafter. You have learned that better inputs get better outputs. You start every conversation by giving AI a role, a context, constraint, and a specific output format. As a result, your result improves dramatically. And then there is level 3, the power user. You have realized that even as a great prompt crafter, you still need to retype the same context at the start of every question. And it's exhausting. So you should set it up once inside a project so that AI remembers it in every conversation from that point onwards. And this is the jump that we're making today. Let's build it together. To do this, we are going to use a feature inside Claude called Projects. Here's the simplest way I can explain project. A project is a permanent workspace where you load your documents, write your instruction, and define your context just once. Every conversation you then have inside that project already has all that knowledge. You never start from zero again. So think about what a great level 2 prompt crafter type at the start of every conversation. Their role, their audience, their tone preference, their constraint. In a project, all of that live permanently in the background, so you can skip straight through the questions. And it's not just about saving time on prompting. You can load entire documents, policies, template, client brief, reference guide, and Claude will draw on all of them every time you ask a question. And that's what we're going to demonstrate today. I want to be clear about something before we go further. I'm demonstrating this in Claude today, but this concept that I'm teaching is not Claude exclusive. It exists across all major AI platforms, just under slightly different names. In Google Gemini, it is called Gems. In Perplexity, it is called Spaces. So the names are different, but the power user principle is identical. So whichever tools, AI tools that you use, everything I'm about to show you applies. For today's demo, I'm going to build a policy assistant for a fictional company called Acme Corporation, inspired by my HR director friend's problems.
Let's create new project together in Claude. To do that, click Project and then hit New Project And then type in the project name in this section. And also type in a description of what we're trying to achieve over here.
Now, why does this wording works? Number one, it describes the purpose clearly. Policy assistant for employees. Number two, it states the key behavior. Search document, not general knowledge. And then number three, it states citation, expectation. Always reference the source document. Now notice, I'm not giving it a vague description. I'm telling it exactly what I want it to do, and just as importantly, what I want it to avoid. And that's the power user mindset applied even in the setup stage.
And then once completed, click Create Project. And then just wait, a new window will appear. It says the project name, Acme Policy Assistant, and then a description of what this project is trying to do. And then we have a section in here where we can ask questions, which we're going to do later. But before we start asking questions, we should add some instruction and add some files and documents that we will need to reference later. Let's load our policy documents. So we load all 5 files, and voila, all 5 documents are here. We'll go through them one by one later.
First, document number 1, travel and expense policy. Per diem rates, corporate card rules, and receipt requirements will be outlined in this document. And then in document 2, gift, entertainment, and hospitality. How much can we spend on a client dinner before we need approval is there. And then the third document is anti-bribery corruption. The policy most employees never read and the one that gets companies into the most trouble. And then document 4 is the signing authority metrics. Who can sign what and at what dollar value? And document 5 is an employee directory and org chart. I'll show you why this one matters in a moment. Now, the second component is the project instruction. This is where you write permanent context that would normally go to at the top of every prompt. For this project, my instruction says, only answer from the loaded document. Always cite which policy you are referencing, and if you can't find the answer, say so rather than guessing. This last rule is critical because without it, Claude might fill the gap with general knowledge, which defeats the whole purpose of loading your own document. So set it once, and these rules will apply to every single conversation inside this project forever. Alright, so all the documents is now loaded, instructions set, and let's ask AI some questions.
I'm traveling to New York next week for a client meeting. What's my daily meal allowance? Look at Claude's answer. It references travel and expense policy and correctly cite $95 per day. Awesome. I want to take a prospect out for dinner in Sydney. The restaurant will cost around $200 per person. Do I need approval, and how do I pay with my corporate card? Look at Claude's answer. It correctly referenced 2 documents, gift, entertainment, and hospitality policy, reminding people that yes, manager approval is required. And it also references the travel and expense policy, reminding people that receipt is required and need to be submitted in the expense management system. Very good. And it's also asking us to do one more check to confirm that the prospect is not government official, because if so, according to Anti-Bribery and Corruption Policy COM 003, it will require written approval from legal and compliance team. The next one is a tricky question that many people often get wrong. I've just found out that one of our prospects works for a company that is 40% owned by Singapore government. Can I take him out for a $150 dinner to celebrate our contract? There it is, Claude's answer. A 40% government-owned company qualifies as a state-owned enterprise, so the prospect is effectively a government official, and it correctly references our anti-bribery policy that it doesn't matter that the dinner is only $150, any hospitality for a government official require written legal approval before it happens, 0 threshold. And if the employee has gone ahead with that dinner, even at a modest $150 dinner, they could have exposed their company to a corruption investigation. Claude caught it because the rule is sitting right there in the document. This is not just a convenience tool. In the right hand, this is a risk management tool. I'm Ryan Chen, manager in enterprise sales. I've just negotiated a $150,000 contract with Nexus Financial. Can I sign it today? The answer from Claude is no. You can't sign the contract, and the reason is because, according to FIN 004 policy, signing authority metrics, Vice President, a grade 9 is required for the size of the contract. But Claude doesn't stop here. It also recommends what Ryan needs to do, which is to contact the right person, Karen Ellis. How does it know that? Because we loaded employee directory, document number 5 earlier. So the more document that we load, the more business context that AI can use to make useful recommendation. How awesome is this? There is also other recommendation to contact legal, notify finance, etc. And now, the question that ties everything together. I am flying to New York to pitch a $150,000 contract. Can I take the prospect out to a $400 dinner, pay with my corporate card, and sign the deal there? Look at the answer. How comprehensive is this? Referencing 3 separate policies. Not only that, there is a summary provided. What you need to do before you go. What a nice checklist. Get written manager approval, submit contract to legal, confirm VP or above, and keep the dinner receipt and lock the hospitality in the register.
So before we wrap up, I want to show you one more use case because this one resonates with every finance professional and business owners that I've ever worked with. I'm going to paste in a sample expense claim submitted by Ryan Chen after his New York trip. Let me ask Claude to review it. Let's look at Claude's answer together. Now, several things are being flagged. Hotel rates above $350 per night limit. Client dinner at $380 per person. This required manager pre-approval that was never obtained. 2 line items with no receipts. Not good. A whiskey gift above $75 limit. Drink after dinner. No receipt, no attendee list, no business purpose documented. Not good. Every breach, every policy clause has been summarized in seconds. An experienced finance manager might catch most of this on a good day, but Claude catches all of them every time without getting tired, distracted, or rushed. Imagine running every expense claim in your organization through this process before reimbursement. This is not a future use case. This is something that you can build this afternoon. If you want to build this yourself, all the documents from today's demo are available for download in the description below. They are ready to load straight into a Claude project or a Jam or Space or Copilot notebook. Run all the 5 questions yourself and see it work with your own hands. And if you're thinking about rolling this out for your team, share this video with the person who manages your policies or your system. 1 person watches this and 1 person can set it up and the whole team can benefit. So next week, I will continue our journey to level 4, the workflow weaver. That's where we stop using AI tools and start co-creating with them. I'll show you how I built my first AI-powered artifact.